Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more of the Mario Kart Wii playthrough. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Banana Cup and the Flower Cup back on Mirror Mode. As far as characters, like I said, I'm going to use my favorite character and vehicle combo last. So we're going to skip the monkeys, at least for right now, and we're actually going to move on to the Bowser characters. Now, the thing about the Bowser characters is we have Bowser and we have Dry Bowser. They're essentially the same thing. Dry Bowser is just the skeletal form of Bowser in New Super Mario Bros. So we gotta choose him. He's the newbie, so we're gonna be going with that. And as far as vehicle, gonna be going back to karts, and this is probably gonna be the last time we use karts, unless I decide to change my mind a little bit later. And as far as kart to use, I'm thinking either the Jet Setter or the Honeycoop. I think I'm actually going to go with Honeycoop just because it seems to have better stats. You sacrifice a little bit of speed, but it seems to have like a lot of other interesting stats. So yeah, we're going to go with the Honeycoop for this one. So next, we're going to choose the Banana Cup. This is the retro collection of courses, and we start out with... right, Sherbet Land. This could be really bad. I honestly don't like doing Sherbet Land with the cart. The turns can be very, very weird, especially for this type of track. Especially considering karts turn more outwardly, and you can't really take turns too inwardly, which is generally how you do these tracks, is you kind of try to get that inward turn and jump kind of across the little cracks of ice to get some extra speed. Here, though, we're not going to really have that luxury, so let's see what we can do with the Honeycoop here. This could be a very, very, very bad race, but I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can to do this anyway. Another thing I wanted to kind of talk about in this video that I didn't really... there were a lot of things I wanted to address last time, but there were just so many things to talk about, and we were also racing on some of the shorter tracks as well. Character attributes. We've seen basically how all the different vehicles, karts, and bikes have different stats, and how, certain karts and bikes can perform better on some tracks, and others can perform better on other tracks. The characters, however, actually do have their own little attributes as well, and I feel like the attributes are kind of hidden from view. Normally I found these out when I was actually browsing game FAQs with my good friend back in the day, Starman345. He and I were like, when I got obsessed with time trials, he was also obsessed, so we were kind of like going back and forth trying to beat each other's times and such. So we did a lot of research about like what were the best combos for certain levels and some of the best karts to use, some of the best bikes to use. Obviously it was all bikes for the most part, except for like one or two courses. And we found that there are actually some character differences depending on which character you choose. Now, these values are pretty much hidden. You can probably tell if like you just do a lot of switching between characters and you kind of look at the stats and stuff. But generally, each character has a little bonus that they get to certain stats. And for example, characters like Funky Kong, Daisy, and some other characters actually get a speed boost whenever you use them with their particular karts and bikes. So because of that, those characters are often the characters you'll see in time trials because they get a little extra speed with certain combinations. So that is something that exists in this game. I didn't really talk about that, but again, it's kind of hard to talk about since it's pretty hidden from view, and even if it is actually in the game, it's very minimal. Like, I want to say, like, if there is, like, a little bonus, it's usually, like, just, like, +1 or +2 or something. Which, again, on those little meters, since they don't have, like, numbers on the meters, you can't really see that very well. But yeah, that is definitely something that exists, and something I didn't really mention until now, so I definitely wanted to bring that up, and that's another reason why I was so keen on using Funky Kong a lot, because I was good with them, I was good at the Flame Runner, and it actually gave me a little extra boost of speed too, so That's pretty much why I chose to use Funky Kong all the time back in the day, even though that was pretty much everyone's choice of character, especially if you were talking about time trials and people who played this game, like, religiously almost. Okay, so as you can see, this kart's not really doing too well on this course either. I didn't do really good in the last course especially because, again, going back to Sitarman 345, even though he and I were, like, always competing in this game and we had, like, a lot of records back and forth, I'd still kind of say he was probably better at the game than I was. And he was the one that actually taught me that for Sherbet Land, the best kart you want to use, or the best bike you want to use, sorry if I say kart, I mean the game is called Mario Kart, for crying out loud, but he said that the Magic Cruiser is the bike you want to use at all times for Sherbet Land because that course is all off-road. The ice counts as off-road, so if you use an off-road vehicle like the Magic Cruiser, you'll actually be assured to go at pretty much your top speed at all times. So that's definitely what I was told when I was essentially going for all the time trials for all the courses in the game. So yeah, that's definitely a cool little factoid that I learned about this game. And this is another course where you really want to have like pretty good off-road, just because you can actually skip across some of the water sections without too much of a speed loss if you have a good off-road vehicle and good off-road like vehicle and character combination. But still, like, there is definitely more road than off-road, so maybe it's not the best to use that kind of vehicle combination, but it seems like that would be helpful, for example. Just so you don't lose, like, a whole lot of speed whenever you go off-road. Oh, shoot. Am I actually going to get this? Okay, yeah, I'm fine. I think it's kind of hard to judge where all the characters are on that last part because there are essentially like two different ways you can go. But I got it, and that'll put me back in first place, so that's good. Hopefully I can keep this for the rest of this cup because I think we have some pretty tough courses remaining. This one's not too bad, so I think this will give me a nice little buffer, but I'm actually kind of worried about the last track, Waluigi Stadium, especially for this vehicle. That might actually be a bit of a challenge if I'm not careful. Okay, here we... Oh no, shoot. Get off the wall. Get off the wall. Get off the... Get off the wall! Get off the wall! Oh my god. Now see what I did is, like, once I hit the wall right there, I tried to actually, like, turn around and, like, kind of use my drift to kind of get that speed boost, but because of the way this particular kart controls, I just couldn't get off that wall, so that kind of messed me up. But thankfully I got a bullet bill, so that kind of put me back in the swing of things. We'll just say that I was farming for items. That's why I got stuck on that wall. It was all planned from the very beginning, and you guys can't prove it otherwise. No. I'll admit it, that was me sucking. I'm not gonna try to make an excuse there. I played stupidly right there. It's okay. After the first lap, I am in first place, so I did make a nice comeback. And I won't try to make the same mistakes again. Okay, there we go. Because, yeah, see, whenever I hit a wall, I try to do a drift almost immediately, just so I can kind of get that speed boost, so I can get kind of, if not at max speed, at least as close to max speed as possible, just so I don't lose a lot of time. Because, again, hitting walls is never good, especially in a speed game, because it's just wasting time. Hello, DK. Sorry you're small, but it needed to be done. Okay, looks like I'm having some pretty heavy resistance put up by Toadette here. That is Toadette, right? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I knew it was one of the two mushroom characters, but I didn't know if like my eyes were playing tricks on me or something. But no, it was Toadette like I thought. Is Toad even in this race? Okay, yeah, he is. He's like in the middle of the pack right now. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good. I think I'll definitely have first place here, and I'm actually going to try to hold out this shell so I can avoid any items. Now, normally right here, this is a part where if you have a blue shell coming, you want to kind of stop on the speed boosters. Just so if you get hit by the blue shell, you can automatically just hit the speed boost and get back to top speed pretty quickly. Those are kind of the things you have to think about, especially when you're trying to go for star rankings in Grand Prix mode. Because sometimes you just can't stop those shells. Those shells will always be hitting you pretty hard, I feel like. Okay, here we go. Waluigi Stadium. I didn't really pay attention to how far I was ahead, but I'm going to just try to do well on this track regardless, and I should be fine. If I just play smart and play conservatively and then use items effectively, I should be fine. I'm going to try to speed up here so I can avoid this damn thundercloud. Then I can use this other mushroom to skip across the little shortcut there, immediately get hit by a banana, and then regret me ever doing that. Isn't life just funny like that, guys? Isn't it just frickin' hilarious? Okay. Wow, looks like Toadette was trying to use that, yeah, she was trying to use the half-pipe to, that's weird. Like, even though you can use half-pipes effectively, especially in tracks like, DK Summit and Bowser's Castle, I feel like the half-pipes in this course aren't really that helpful, because they're kind of out of the way, and if you have, like, an inward drifting bike, like the Flame Runner, like, that'll be more helpful than just trying to use the, half-pipes to get a boost of speed, because you have to kind of drive out of your way to get them. And then you have a car like this, where probably the half-pipes would be helpful for this car, just so you can kind of get straight forward and moving, like, into the next section, but still. Hard to say, really. I'm gonna actually see if I can do this. Okay, that wasn't too bad. But I also had a mushroom, too, so I kind of had that working with me there. Okay, so here on the last lap, honestly, even if I get second place, that's not too bad, but I want to see if I can get the first. And that actually happened at a really good point. It's kind of like the Bullet Bill thing that happened in the last video. Right, it was in a Bullet Bill, and then, like, as soon as I come out of the Bullet Bill, like, a lightning hits while I'm still in the Bullet Bill animation, so I don't get hit by it. Stuff like that can really, really help you out. And I think we're almost there. Oh, come on, Dry Bowser. Also, Dry Bowser. I feel like that's a very weird name. Oh, wow, okay. I might have this. Yes! Sorry, Koopa Troopa, but this is my race to win, buddy. Which, that kind of sucks, because... yeah, I had pretty much a perfect aside from that very first track, so once again... that could have been a star ranking, but we'll never know because I got third on Sherbet Land. That sucks. Oh well, it's a trophy, and I'm happy to get a trophy. That's a very funny looking trophy, by the way. Kinda wish I had that on my mantelpiece. Okay, so now that we have the Banana Cup out of the way, we're going to move on to the Flower Cup. And guys, it's time. We're going to be using my favorite character and my favorite combination. We have Funky Kong from the Donkey Kong Country series making his Mario Kart debut. And we're going to be using the Flame Runner. Honestly, I love this combo. It's so freaking good. It's just really, really good. I know it's like an overused combo, but it just feels so right to me. And again, it's because I did all those time trials, and then once I got used to doing those time trials, like, I just really got used to how much I love this combo. It just feels really, really good, and I can do a lot of good things with it. But yeah, this combo in general definitely encourages speed, and it also encourages taking turns at the right time. This is a very inward turning bike, where pretty much as soon as you start drifting, you will pretty much be turning in that direction, so you have to kind of get used to that. But to me, this works perfectly. Like, I really, really love the way this controls so much. It just feels really, really, really good. And I freaking love this bike because of it. I also just love that it's Funky Kong. Like, Funky Kong is in a Mario Kart game. They could have gone with, like, a more popular character. Like, they could have added Dixie Kong because, you know, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong are already in the game. But no, they went with Funky Kong. But it makes sense because when you think about it, Funky Kong is a mechanic. And, you know, bikes are a big part of this game. Honestly, it makes sense that he's in this game. Funky Kong makes sense as a character in this game. And I love it because it's just so funny that he is in this game. It's freaking hilarious. I think they also added like a lot of other Donkey Kong Country characters in Mario Super Sluggers. Like I think in addition to Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and Dixie Kong, which were already in Mario Superstar Baseball, I think they added a critter enemy from the Donkey Kong Country series, King K. Rool, Baby Donkey Kong from Yoshi's Island DS, and I want to say Funky Kong was in that game too, but I don't really remember. He might not be. Like, I know he, for sure he's in this game. I'm using him right now, but I don't remember if he was in Super Sluggers or not. It seemed like he would have been because, again, they added them in this game, so it's like, well, let's add him in this game too, but I don't know. I have Super Sluggers, but I really only played it once. I played it the night I got it, and I was like, well, this isn't bad, but, like, I kind of like Mario Superstar Baseball a little more. Which now people are probably going to ask when that playthrough is going to be, but it'll probably be a while. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. It'll probably be a while before that happens. It's fine. It is what it is. So anyway, we got a nice little ride through Coconut Mall here. I love this. The music is pretty good here, not gonna lie. I love that little piano that kind of plays in between certain sections. Okay, let's see if I can see who are in the cars here. Let's see, we got... I couldn't tell. I didn't want to drive closer, though, because I didn't want to get hit. Okay, what do we have here? I think that's Charlie Brown. Yeah, that's Charlie Brown on the right. Charlie Brown, a very easy character to make. Just get the roundest head and then just don't add any hair whatsoever. You got Charlie Brown pretty much. Okay, there's... I think that was Braum in Fire Emblem again. I was very, very proud of my Braum me when I made it. It's just he's such an easy character to make, so it was very easy to do. Okay, I saw Chef Ramsay. That was like the last picture on the wall there on the right. And I think I also saw Andy from Advance Wars. I had to add Andy because, you know, what's an airport? Classic Let's Play joke. Okay, I'm trying to see who's on the left here. Okay, I think that's Homebrew. I don't know where... I don't remember the inspiration for Homebrew. I think that's kind of when the Homebrew channel started, like, being talked about for the Nintendo Wii, and I was like... I want to make my friends think that this is like a Homebrew character, like someone using Homebrew or something. So I just made him look as, like, cheesy as possible, I guess. I don't know. Ah, come on, no. No, I'm behind, Oh, there's a blue shell. That might help me out a little bit. Just gotta get an item here. Banana's not gonna help me. Oh, maybe the Flame Runner's speed will help me. There we go. And yeah, the last car was actually Spock, I think. Okay. So far, so good. Next up, we have DK Summit. Here we go. Now again, this is the track that I specialized in time trials. And I used this combo for this track too, from what I remember, so let's see how I do here. Remember one thing you want... Oh, shoot, damn it. Okay, I'm changing my plan just so I can get rid of that thundercloud. But yeah, you want to take that turn like that, because that'll give you a huge boost of speed. That, not so much, and... Oh, crap, I'm in the... Okay, this is really bad. On my TV, like, that pink and white snow, which is the, like, kind of out-of-bounds snow or whatever, like, it's completely white. I can't see the pink at all, so I can't tell if that's, like, out-of-bounds or not. And, like, the snow is, like, perfectly white. I think the snow is supposed to be, like, kind of, like, white and blue a little bit, so you can kind of tell where, like, the track is, but I'm just seeing straight up white on my TV screen, so if I go out of bounds, that's the reason why, because I cannot see the, I can't see the snow very well on this TV screen. And I'm looking on, yeah, I'm looking on the capture window really quick. It is, like, you can see the other colors just fine in the capture window, so you guys won't have any issue with seeing this. It's just my TV screen. Maybe I have to turn the brightness down a little bit or something. Also, wow, good timing. But yeah, generally what I remember from this track is you want to use the mushrooms in time trial for, like, the thick stuff. And then you want to actually try to... During this section right here where you have the pits... There's a way you can actually drive over and, like, take a shortcut over the holes, and that will save a lot of time. And maybe you have to use the mushroom for that, though. I don't know. Again, it's been forever since I've done a time trial for this stage. I think what I'm going to do is when I'm going to get to the time trial video for this project, I think instead of actually racing, I might actually just do commentary over some of my favorite tracks or some of the big tracks that actually had, like, huge skips discovered that I actually figured out. So that'll be kind of interesting, because I'm definitely, like, I was well more adversed in time trials, like, back then than I ever would be now. So again, I haven't played this game in years. So that might be fun. That might be fun to actually kind of look at those and just kind of see, like, the different strats I used and some of the other things that's, essentially I tried to figure out when I did that part of this game a long time ago. Also, this is not very good. Gonna have to get a good item here. Okay, Starman will help. Wow! I almost got first on that. Wow. I went from 11th place to 2nd place in, like, less than 10 seconds, it felt like. Still, though, there goes my perfect, because, yeah. Not gonna get a perfect with you have a 2nd place or something. That's just the way it is. So yeah, I think I do get a time trials. I might do that. I might show some of my old records off, and then just kind of talk about time trial. My experiences with time trials and stuff of that nature. I think that'll be a good way to handle that video. And then I'll even try to race one of my old ghosts just to see how well I can do, but I can't, I definitely can't promise I'll do very well. I might do like Toad's Factory or something, because that's probably a track that's, like, I remember, like, as much as I love that track, I don't think I had a good time trial for it. So I might go ahead and do that track, like, by myself and race my ghost or something. That might be fun and interesting. Maybe. We'll see. As far as other extra videos I want to do, like, I want to do a versus mode video where I... oh, wow, I haven't talked about this yet. I talked about it in, the first time I tried to record all of these videos, but I didn't talk about it yet. I did actually find my Wii wheel. It was actually behind my shelving unit, which has like all of my consoles and all my games. It must have just like fell back there one day or something. So I did find it. I'm not going to use it for Grand Prix mode though, because this is very hard, and you know, I've already not played this game in a long time. Using motion controls, like, I feel like that'd just be a recipe for disaster. So I'm probably going to save the Wii Wheel for the versus mode part of the playthrough, where I just kind of race computer opponents and kind of set my own conditions based on the options that are available. Maybe do like a small, like, SlimKirby Cup. We'll call it the Star Warrior Cup, maybe, where I pick like some of my favorite tracks, and then we'll just race through them all. I'll use the Wii Wheel for that. Could also be a team race. We'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, I think I'll do that. So yeah, I have that video planned, the time trial video, and of course the battle mode video, where I kind of show off battle mode. From what I remember, there's not really that much to show off in this game as far as battle mode's concerned. I think it's a lot like Mario Kart DS, where it's literally just like 2 modes and then like all the courses. Some retro, some new, so that'll be pretty simple. Also, that was a very calm Wario's Gold Mine. That really surprised me. And again, I was so freaking close to a star ranking and a perfect. I'm actually kind of hoping that it will give me that star ranking here. Nope, it gives me the A rank. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. This has been SlimKirby. This has been Mario Kart Wii. That was the Banana Cup and Flower Cup. I'll see you guys next time and next weekend for the final 4 cups. First up with Leaf Cup and Star Cup, then Lightning and Special Cup on Sunday. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys then. Later, folks.